We studied how we can derive saving function. Saving function from consumption function. From here I am going to start. For this we need saving, consumption, both these concepts related to level of income. So based upon these three concepts we can take the formula y is equal to c plus s. We are going to derive saving function. That's why we can modify the formula like this: s is equal to y minus c. Then what we have to do? Substituting consumption function or consumption equation. So we will get s is equal to y minus, instead of c we can write consumption equation, that is c dash plus by. The next one, open the bracket, y minus into c dash, that is minus c dash, then minus into plus by, that is minus by. So we got s is equal to y minus c dash minus by. Okay, now I am taking out y and minus by. This we can write y minus by, or because y is common, that's why we will get 1 minus b into y. This we can give to this formula. Finally we will get s is equal to, this we have to copy here, minus c dash, then we are taking this one, this shows plus 1 minus by, so we can copy this one, plus 1 minus by. So this is saving function. Now we derive saving function from consumption function. So consumption equation, c is equal to c dash plus by. Saving equation, s is equal to minus c dash plus 1 minus by. This you should study. Okay. The next one, graphical representation of saving curve. Graphical representation of saving curve from consumption curve. Saving curve from consumption curve. So here curve, previous what we did, consumption equation or consumption function. There we have to use that equation. Here curve they ask, that's why we have to use diagrammatic representation. So for this, two panels I am taking, one for consumption, one for saving. First one I am taking consumption, because we have to derive consumption curve, we have to derive saving curve from consumption curve. So first one, consumption, here we will get saving curve. Already we studied consumption curve is an upward sloping curve. Income increases, level of income increases, consumption also rise. It has a minimum level of consumption, that is why it starts from y-axis. This is consumption curve. Okay. We need saving curve. That time we have to think about three situations of saving. First one, when y is greater than C. Second one, y is equal to c. Third situation, y is less than c. So we can take out when income is equal to consumption, that time what is happening? Saving is equal to 0 or break even point. This point shows break even point. So try to make a break even point. So if we need break even point, we need level of income and level of consumption. We are going to derive saving curve. So only these two options are there for us. So we can take level of income and level of consumption. Consumption curve is there. Then think about level of income. Level of income means already we studied AS is identical to level of income. So we can use AS curve. AS curve is a 45-degree line or guideline. So next you have to draw AS curve. Here consumption curve and AS curve intersected at this point. This point shows y, AS means y, level of income, y is equal to c, that is break even point. Okay, from here we can derive saving curve. Here it should be s is equal to 0. So we are deriving saving curve from this break even point. We got saving curve. We can label this part shows minus c dash. That means autonomous saving or negative consumption. Autonomous saving, dissaving. This is positive level. This is dissaving. This is break even point. This is two panel. You can make in a single diagram also the same process. First we need consumption curve. Then we need AS 45-degree line, intersected point. This shows y is equal to c. From here we can derive, anyway this is our income, level of income or GDP or national income. So this shows S is equal to 0 or break even point from here. We derived saving curve. This is minus c dash, this is c dash. Only this much. So two topics over. First one, how we can derive saving equation or saving function from consumption function. Second one, how we can derive saving curve from consumption curve. If they ask equation, you can use the formula. If they ask curve, you can represent to a diagram. Okay, I think you understood. Next one, so we studied AS is equal to C plus S and AD is equal to C plus I. From here we can take some relationship between, first I am taking average propensity to consume and average propensity to save. We can say the sum of APC and APS is always equal to 1. APC and APS always equal to 1. We know if we have some income, definitely we can save or consume. Either we have to be consumed or we have to be saved. So C plus S will give income. From here, average propensity to consume and average propensity to save, if we take it together, definitely be equal to 1. See, APC plus APS. Instead of APC, we can write C by Y. Instead of APS, we can write S by Y. Or we can write C plus S. C plus S, the whole divided by this common, that is Y. C plus Y means C plus S is equal to Y. So instead of C plus S, we can write level of income. Y by Y shows 1. We proved. So APC plus APS should be equal to 1. This is the relationship between APC and APS. For example, if APC is 0.6, what is APS? APS is equal to 0.4. It should be. APC plus APS should give 1. So 0.6 plus 0.4 is equal to 1. Otherwise, we can write formulas and all coming. We know APC plus APS is equal to 1. Or we can modify the formula. APC is equal to 1 minus APS. Or APS is equal to 1 minus APC. Okay. The relationship between average propensity to consume and average propensity to save. Then like this we can say marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to save equal to 1. The sum of MPC and MPS is always equal to 1. We can prove this one. Instead of MPC, we can write delta C by delta Y plus MPS delta S by delta Y. Okay. This how we can modify delta C plus delta S is equal to, divided by delta Y. This delta C plus delta S is equal to delta Y. Delta Y divided by delta Y will give 1. We proved. So, we can say MPC plus MPS is equal to 1, or MPC is equal to 1 minus MPS, or MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. MPC is slope of consumption curve, MPS is slope of saving curve. So, this one we can write 1 minus B. This 1 minus B is what? MPS. That also there. Okay. So, this part also over. So, what and all we studied? Derivation of saving function from consumption function. For this derivation, we need level of saving, level of consumption and level of income. By using all these three concepts, we can take this formula y is equal to c plus s. We have to derive saving function, that is why modify the formula s is equal to y minus c. Then what is the next step? Substituting consumption function or consumption equation. After that we are getting S is equal to minus C dash plus 1 minus by. This is saving equation. This is consumption equation. Then diagrammatic representation, or we can say how we can derive consumption curve. If curve comes, you have to represent diagrammatically. How we can derive saving curve from consumption curve. From consumption curve, that's the first panel. I used consumption. Then from there we are finding out the break-even point. From break-even point we are getting saving is equal to 0 saving curve. Then in a single diagram like this we will get either two panel or in a single diagram you can represent derivation of saving curve. You should label minus C dash and C dash. Then relationship between APC and APS. What is the relationship? The sum of APC and APS should always equal to 1. We can prove this one. Instead of APC we are using C by Y. Instead of APS we are using S by Y. C plus S shows Y. So finally we are getting C equal to 1. Then from here we will get APC. APC is equal to 1 minus APS. APS is equal to 1 minus APC. Next, relationship between MPC and MPS. The sum of MPC and MPS is always equal to 1. Instead of MPC we can write delta C by delta Y, and instead of MPS we can write delta S by delta Y. Delta C plus delta S shows delta Y. By using all these steps we are getting delta Y by delta Y is equal to 1. So MPC is equal to, or B is equal to, we can say 1 minus MPS, and MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. Wherever MPC comes we can use the letter B. Okay. So we completed aggregate supply. See, this is aggregate supply. It refers to the value of total, we have to take pen, right? So total final output available in the economy during an accounting year. Final output available in the economy. So this is level of GDP that producers wish to produce, that is aggregate supply. A major part of national income is spent on consumption and the rest is saved. So we can say C plus S will give aggregate supply. Okay, what is aggregate supply? It refers to the value of total final output available in the economy during an accounting year. A major part of national income is spent on consumption and the rest is saved. That's why we can say C plus S is equal to aggregate supply. Okay, next, what are the components of aggregate supply? Components are consumption expenditure, household consumption expenditure and saving. Two components are there for aggregate supply: household consumption expenditure and saving. Okay, what are the features of APS? That you should note it down. What are the features of APS? APS, average propensity to save. APS can be 0. When APS can be 0? APS is 0 when saving are 0. That means at break-even point, APS can be 0. The first feature is APS can be 0 at break-even point. You can say like that also, at break-even point. Then second one, APS can never be 1. It is because savings can never be equal to income. That's why reason, you can write these and all the reasons why. So APS can never be 1 because savings can never be equal to 1. Okay. So what is the first feature? APS can be 0 when savings are 0. Then APS can never be 1. It is because savings can never be equal to 1. Then third feature, APS can never be more than 1. APS can never be more than 1 because savings cannot be more than income. But APS can be negative when consumption is greater than income. We know there are 3 situations. So APS can be negative, but savings, APS can never be more than 1. It can be negative. APS can never be more than 1 because savings cannot be more than income. But APS can be negative when C is greater than Y. Then, next feature, APS rises with rise in income. If income rises, propensity to save also rise because people tend to save more with increase in income. So, these are the main features of APS. You should study all these features. You should note it down. What are the features? First feature, APS can be 0. Second one, APS can never be 1. Third one, APS can never be more than 1. Then APS rises with rise in income. These and all you can take as reasons. Okay. Like these features of MPS. MPS varies between 0 and 1. Minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 1. MPS, or we can say 1 minus MPC, or 1 minus B will give MPS. MPS will be equal to 0 when if additional income is consumed. The whole additional income economy used for expenditure, that marginal propensity to save will be equal to 0. The next one, it will be equal to 1 if entire income is saved, that's delta S is equal to delta Y. Here entire income is consumed, MPS will be equal to 0. Then entire income is saved, MPS will be equal to 1. Fourth feature, MPS cannot be greater than 1 because additional saving cannot be greater than additional income. Okay, so what are the features of MPS? First one we can say value varies between 0 and 1. Next one, MPS is equal to 0 when if entire additional income is consumed. MPS is equal to 0 will be equal to 0 if entire income is consumed. Then MPS will be equal to 1. Next feature, equal to 1. What is the reason? If entire income is saved. Then next feature, MPS cannot be greater than 1 because additional saving cannot be greater than additional income. These are the features of MPS. Okay. So what are the features of MPC and MPS? Completed. Then relationship between APC and APS. Very simple. APC plus APS is equal to 1. Instead of APC we can write C by Y. Instead of APS we can write S by Y. APC plus APS is equal to C by Y plus S by Y. That shows C plus S by Y, that is equal to Y by Y. So we are getting the sum of APC and APS is always equal to 1. Okay, relationship between MPC and MPS, the same procedure we can use here also. MPC delta C by delta Y, additional consumption. Here additional ratio between additional saving and additional income. If we substitute all these, we are getting delta C plus delta S by delta Y is equal to 1. This relationship between MPC and MPS. Here you can write this also. MPC is equal to 1 minus MPS and MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC. Say numericals, write fast. If the value of APC is, you just write APC is 0.75. The value of APS would be, one more question. Manually you can do what is 0.75, then what is the remaining part, that is 0.25, because APC and APS should always equal to 1. Then if MPS is equal to 0.4, find MPC. MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. So MPC is equal to 0.6. See, important formula, you have to note it down. National income is equal to C plus S. AD is equal to C plus I. APC C by Y. One part you have to study, then saving part you can write from here. MPC delta C by delta Y. APC plus APS will give 1. C is equal to C dash plus BY. Okay. From here you can write AD is equal to C plus I. Then what is AS? C plus S. APC is equal to C by Y. Then what is APS? S by Y. MPC is equal to delta C by delta Y, then MPS is equal to delta S by delta Y. APC plus APS is equal to 1. The same procedure, MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. Here consumption equation, this one saving equation. Okay, formula. All these formula we need. Then one question, time. Two numericals and all there. Do one thing, you just copy these questions. Estimate the value of aggregate demand in an economy if autonomous investment is equal to rupees 100, MPS 0.2, level of income rupees 4,000, autonomous consumption expenditure rupees 50. Suppose this is our question, you have to identify what and all given. So first one, autonomous investment. Okay, autonomous investment we know that is constant. Then MPS that is 1 minus MPC. Then level of income that is Y. Autonomous consumption expenditure that is C dash. You just identify what and all given. Then think which formula we can apply here. Investment is there, consumption is there, saving is not there. So we can take AD is equal to C plus I. AD is equal to C plus I, AS is equal to C plus S. Here two concepts, investment and consumption, so we can use this formula. Then substitute what and all they have given. So instead of C we can use C dash plus BY. So C, this much C plus I. So C dash plus BY shows C. Okay. Then plus investment, like this I did here. Then B is not there, but MPS is there. MPS is there, we can find out B. So 1 minus MPS will give what? MPC. B shows MPC. This is MPC. MPC is equal to 1 minus MPS. So we got B. Just substitute. C dash is 50 plus B is 0.8, Y is 4,000 and plus I, that is 100. So finally we are getting AD. So what you have to do, you just identify the question, then based upon that question you have to prepare a formula, then substitute. Okay, just copy the question. The next one I am giving homework, I am going to wind up. You have to do, and through WhatsApp you can submit the answer fast. Very easy. Homework I am giving, complete the following. 4 columns, income, saving, then MPC and APC you have to find out full blank. You just copy income and saving. Income 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. Then saving minus 20, minus 10, 0, 30, 60. Just blank MPC and APC, leave it. That you have to find out. The next second question, complete the following. Here income and consumption expenditure. 4 columns you have to do, income and consumption expenditure, MPS and APS. Income 0, 100, 200, The next 2 levels blank. Then consumption expenditure 80, 140 dash 240, 260. Then MPS dash 0.4 dash 0.8. APS first 2 levels blank, then 0, 0.20 and 0.35. Please do your homework. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we can continue. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you.